first two episodes of the Obi Wan Kenobi show on Disney Plus. I watched them on Friday. I just signed up for Disney Plus for a month and watched them. There will be spoilers in this video, so don't watch if you haven't seen the episodes yet. But first things first, I really enjoyed both of them. There's a few little things here and there that I was kind of like, but overall I did really enjoy both. It's great to see Ewan McGregor back in the Obi Wan role. He really just gets right back into it perfectly. Bail Organa, Jimmy Smits is back as well. We have Joel Edgerton as Uncle Owen in this one. Also, Emperor you see briefly, but you don't. She hasn't had any lines yet. But it starts off with a recap of everything that happened during not everything, but a quick recap of the prequels, episodes 1 through 3. Obi-Wan's obviously on Tatooine now. He's not living in his hut, little kind of house he has in A New Hope. He's in a cave right now, so I'd assume obviously at some point he's moving on to that. He works at some kind of meat type place where he's cutting up meat and shit. Just literally they show him working, going out, getting on this little creature that he rides, and going back there. There's a Jawa that comes to his place and he's selling him stuff. He buys a toy for Luke, and Joel Edgerton's Uncle Owen's we don't need this and stuff, and that's when he says the line where he's he'll need to be trained when the time comes. He's you train how he trained his you trained his father or whatever. So that's going on, and the Inquisitors show up on Tatooine. They're looking for a Jedi. So you have, the Grand Inquisitor, the third sister. I don't know who the third guy would be called. I don't know much about the Inquisitors. I just know that they are in Fallen Order. But I don't know them from, the Rebel show and stuff like that. I guess, I don't know if he'd be second brother or how they do it. But they pop down. There's actually a little tension between the Grand Inquisitor and the other guy and the third sister. But it's actually kind of cool how... Okay, here's some spoilers right out of the gate. They're looking for a Jedi. This one is not Obi-Wan, the one they're looking for. But the guy who plays the Grand Inquisitor goes in and he's gives a nice kind of little speech about the Jedi and stuff and how they operate. And then the third sister whips a knife towards because he goes into a little bar. He's talking about pretty much how this guy, the Jedi, probably helped the bar owner at some point, blah, blah, blah. She whips a knife towards the guy's head and the Jedi reveals himself because he used the Force. And she pretty much wants to kill him, and then he kind of gets away. But there's a little tension between, going on between the Inquisitors. What else is going on in that first episode? He meets up with that Jawa, a little kind of Jawa selling stuff, and he's like, if you're going to steal my parts and sell them back to me, at least clean them first. And this Jedi, who's now on the run, they're always on the run, but who's now really fucking being hunted, they're on his tail completely, meets up with Obi-Wan in the desert, and at first Obi-Wan's I don't know what you're talking about. My name's Ben. And eventually he's listen, just take your lightsaber, bury it in the desert, get the fuck out of here. And that happens. What else is going on in that episode? I'm trying to remember. I did all the scenes and stuff, and seeing the old seeing Tatooine. It just has more of the old Star Wars type feel to it, which was nice. The Inquisitor's all fine to me. A lot of people kind of don't like the third sister a little bit. She's and I'll get into it in a little bit in the second episode. I didn't mind her really personally. There was a little stuff in the second episode that was a little kind of ridiculous, but I also mind her. There's a scene, I forgot about this. the first scene in the show after the recap of episodes 1 to 3 is Order 66 going on. There's a couple of younglings being trained, and once again, spoilers here, I think the third sister is one of the younglings there, because I think, right, the Inquisitors, they take some Jedi and kind of twist them up, so they don't like give them, they're not like fully powered Sith or Jedi, they're just kind of, I think they take them young, kind of warp them a bit, right? Like I said, I don't know all the Inquisitor stuff. They don't want them to be on a high level, so they kind of know what they need to do. I don't think they're super force powerful, but it's them fighting. The clones are coming in and taking guys out. So that was the scene there in the beginning. I forgot about that. But I don't really mind it that much. There's the tension. I'm like, it almost might make sense because I guess dark side user now or Sith. I wouldn't be surprised if they like, turn on each other and shit at some point, right? That's what they do. But that's going on. I think Owen gets threatened in that episode too. By the third sister, and he kind of, because Obi-Wan's like right there and they're there, but they don't know he's fucking there because this is what's great about it. Yoda obviously did this too. He cut himself off fucking completely from the Force, and there's like 2 instances throughout the episode where he's trying to contact Qui-Gon. He's like, Master, I could use you. In the first episode and the second episode, actually, it's not happening because he's so cut off from using his lightsaber, from using the Force or anything. Like I said, he just goes about his little job and his business. He tries, he looks at. He looks in on Luke. He's like hanging out on the little mountain with his binoculars, checking in on Luke and the family and stuff. But he's completely cut off. Like he knows how to do it. Like Obi-Wan's a fucking smart one. He's gonna cut himself off. He probably wants to help people, but he's like, I gotta cut myself off. Because there's a scene after he gets off of his job. They're getting their credits, and this one guy's like, this isn't enough, and the dude like bullies him, and Obi-Wan easily could have done something, but he doesn't. He's like, I'm cut off. I'm fucking. He's a different person, completely. I'm pretty sure, the first episode too, I'm pretty sure you see Leia as well on Alderaan with her adopted mother and father. And she's kind of exactly like Leia would be as a kid. She's running around the woods. She doesn't want to go to like a diplomatic thing and stuff like that. She really does have the Leia down, the attitude down of Leia. For sure, and she's more of like a kind of, I was like a free spirit, but she's like, this isn't her, that Senate life really kind of isn't her thing, she wants adventures and stuff. That goes on, and then there's people kind of searching for her, like you see people watching her in the woods. That comes into play. I'm trying to think if she, once again, spoilers, she does get kidnapped by these people. Now this is interesting. I'm just going to do both episodes here, and the same thing kind of flow into the second one as well. I think the first episode ends maybe with her getting grabbed. I can't remember, though, how it fully ends. Like I said, Obi-Wan was there at that part in the kind of little town, whatever. And the Inquisitors threaten Owen, and he's like, I don't like the freaking Jedi, they're vermin. And then the third sister's like, oh, would you protect your family, though? She's like, I'll kill your family. She's really, like, intense with fucking wanting to find these Jedis. And she really wants to find Obi-Wan. She says it's for, like, her revenge type thing or something, but I think a lot of them think, the other Inquisitors, like, you want to kind of gain favor with Vader. The first episode was solid. I liked it. I would give it a solid, 8 out of 10. I thought it was really good. It was great seeing Ewan McGregor back. The acting solid. And it's a slow build on Obi-Wan. He's not busting out his lightsaber, pulling out shit constantly, immediately and shit. Which I, appreciate. There's good tension there between good and bad. A lot going on. You get a bunch of different stuff. You get the Leia stuff as well. So you're getting kind of the political side of things as well. Because, some of her other family's there, and her one cousin is being a dick to her, but saying, she's adopted and shit. She's not a true Organa or whatever. And then she gives him shit back, saying she's like her father. He's like his father. He wants approval and all this shit. So she's giving shit. Like, she's not fucking taking shit. She's giving people shit and stuff. And she's, I guess, they're both 10, I guess. Yeah, that'd be 10 at this point. It was 10 years after episode 3. And all this stuff's going on. And episode 2, she gets kidnapped. And Bail Organa is like, contacts Obi-Wan. He's like, I need your help. He's like, listen, I can't fucking leave the planet. can't do this stuff. You know, he's like, I'm like, you know, I'm not that person. He pretty much says, I'm rusty. I'm not that person anymore. And Organa's like, you gotta be. And the funny part is, one of the kidnappers is played by Flea from Red Hot Chili Peppers, the bassist. He's actually not that bad in it. But eventually he's like, fuck. Because he's trying to use Luke as an excuse. So I gotta watch the boy. He's like, you also need to, like, worry about Leia, too. There are two of them here, you know? Like, not that, like, he's, like, completely obligated to Leia, but it's like, listen, you know, like, she's just as important as he is, as Luke is, you know? They're both, obviously, the same amount of importance. And, he eventually agrees. So the second episode is like him off the planet, and they go. I forget the name of this planet they go to, but it's really like it has once again it's like the Deus Ex-y kind of feel of a fucking planet. Not a planet in Deus Ex, but like a fucking city and shit. Really classic Star Wars shit. And this is a really cool part. He's saying it again. He's like, Master, if you could just give me a sign or something. And he turns around, and the guy's like, can you help out a war veteran? And it's a clone. He's got a beard and shit. At first, I was like, oh, is that Commander Cody? But it wasn't just a regular clone. And what's his name? Tamora, is that you say? Morrison's playing him. He's got the beard, and Obi-Wan like looks at each other. They kind of like look at each other briefly. And Obi-Wan's looking at him like, yeah, fuck. You know, that's my past right there. Kind of interesting little thing to see. Like, there's a clone now. It's just a war veteran who's kind of fucked. He doesn't even know what to do anymore. Because they've been replaced with stormtroopers now and shit. Well, aren't stormtroopers still? I guess stormtroopers would still be the fucking clones, right? Maybe he just left, so I don't know. Maybe that is him if he comes into play again. I don't know. But either way, there's a clone there. Warfriend, he's got the helmet there and shit. Yeah, because they were still using the clones, right? Yeah, because in the last 3 episodes, right, 7, 8, 9, they replaced him with like people, like not people, but they're all people, but like non-clones, like actual, all different individuals. So I guess maybe he just got the booter, but you know, he got too old and he was useless. Maybe that's how it goes. Like some of these clones, because they age pretty fast or something, right? Either way, that was kind of a cool scene. And he's on the planet. I forget the guy. He's a comedian. I forget his name. He's pretending to be like a fake Jedi, and he's actually helping people, but he's taking money in return pretty much. But he's pretending to be a Jedi. He's got magnets and stuff. And Obi-Wan goes up to him and he's like, yeah, I need your help, I heard you're a Jedi. And then he puts a blaster into him. He's like, you ain't shit. It's all fucking smoke and mirrors and shit. So that guy helps him give him information on Leia. So Leia's being held. And, he's not, at this point, he's still not using any fucking powers. He's got his blaster on. He's not doing any fucking shit. He's keeping low fucking key. That's why they can't find where he fucking is. Because he's not using any, he's not giving himself up at all, you know. But he finally finds where they are. And the reason she was kidnapped is because the third sister wants Obi-Wan and knows, she doesn't know who Leia is, but she knows that Obi-Wan, you know, fought and was friends with Bail Organa. So take his kid. Obi-Wan's gonna come out, right? So trap her, smart move, right? Because they're all there, and then he finds his way into this lab, puts on his mask and stuff. He goes there. They're making some kind of drugs in this kind of lab, and he goes to the wrong room at first, and but he like takes a little pouch of this like drug. So he goes to the room at first. He knocks out a few guys, does some nice fucking like CQ, Metal Gear Solid CQCs, throwing fists. He's taking a couple of punches too. You know, once again, not using his fucking force powers, and also he probably hasn't fought anybody in a while either in hand-to-hand combat, so he's fucking rusty, you know. And he eventually takes him out though, and he goes in. It's a trap. It's not her. It's a little fucking, I don't know, mannequin type thing. And then the 3 dudes come in who kidnapped him, like, oh, we got you, Obi-Wan. They say his name and everything. And someone's looking for you, whatever. We're gonna turn you over, Inquisitors. And then he uses this pouch of drugs he has. He throws it up, and they all get all fucked up. And then he finally gets Leia, and they get out of there. Leia's a little cautious at first. Eventually they go. And the third sister comes and just sees them all. They're all fucking drugged out, fucking acting like idiots. And then she puts out an order to have like all the bounty. She pretty much puts his name up on the screen everywhere and shit. They know where he is. All about everybody's now looking for him in this city. So he's running for Leia. Leia eventually fucking ditches him because she keeps saying, "Oh, use your force power, make me levitate." She's like being annoying. She's being annoying, get annoying shit out of him. And he's like, "What are you talking about? No, shit." And then she runs off, and he's chasing her. This was a little annoying. She was like outrunning everybody, which is kind of weird, but so Obi Wan's in the chase now. And this is a little part that was kind of stupid to me. The third sister like sees, I think she sees, oh yeah, because another bounty hunter, he takes out, I think he knocks out a bounty hunter, and then the guy who's the fake Jedi helps him out, and he's like, "Listen, I know you can't trust me, whatever. I really want to change my ways, whatever." So he helps him out. He takes out another robot guy that's bounty hunter's chasing him, and he tells him where like the ship's gonna be that they can get onto, and he gives him a little thing that they can use to start the thing up or whatever. And so now he's chasing Leia across the rooftops, and then he's getting into another blaster fight with another bounty hunter across the rooftops. And then the third sister sees this and starts, because they're all there now. There's a fourth Inquisitor there now too, and they're still like the tension's still there and shit. And she's like, "Listen, I got him. I found him here. This is all me. I'm taking credit and all this bullshit." And then the guy's like, "No, stand down. We'll take care of this and deal with you later." That's all happening as well. And they're questioning people and whatnot. And they also take out Flay. The Inquisitor has like a spinning lightsaber, and they push him up there, ask him questions, and eventually you just hear him scream. So he gets taken out. Flea had a little short 2-episode run there. And anyway, they're chasing him, and then she starts doing all these like force parkour stuff across the buildings, which I thought was, and she's using the force as well to like not. I thought that was a little overdone, but I don't know. I was like, what? I'm like, maybe they'd have more powers than they let on. But she's doing that stuff to find him because she sees a blaster battle going on. Eventually, he takes out the one dude. And then Leia is going to jump across building, and she falls. And he's like, fuck. He's like, no. And eventually, he's trying to use the Force, but he can't. Like, he fucking hasn't used it in probably 10 years, right? And it's like, and finally, he stops her at the thing. No, actually, she dies, and then the whole fucking prequels are fucked. The original trilogy's fucked. He stops her before she hits the floor, the ground. Runs down there, and she's like, "Oh my God, you really are one." And he's like, "Listen, you gotta get the fuck out of here." They get to the ship, and the third sister now has found him, and she's taunting him and shit. She's like, "Oh man, no, it's you, blah blah blah." And he's there. He's hiding, and she's looking for him, and he tells Leia to just get on the ship, take the thing, start it up, and they run off, and she runs off. And he's still sitting there, like, thinking up a game plan. He's like, fuck, dude, I could barely fucking use the Force before. And it's cool because she's, like, super focused on getting him. Like, she's like, I need to fucking get this guy. And the fucking Grand Inquisitor's like, listen, you pretty much, like, be careful, dude. This guy is one of the last. He's not somebody to just fuck with, you know? Like, he's a badass fucking Jedi. And so she's talking to him and stuff. And then the Grand Inquisitor comes and is like, I'm taking the credit now. And this came out of left field for me. She fucking stabs him right through with her lightsaber, kills him. Maybe kills him, I don't know. Apparently this Inquisitor looks like one from the Rebels show. I don't know if it's the same guy, so clearly he wouldn't be killed here if Rebels takes place after this. I don't know. But anyway, he's either killed or appears to be killed. And then this was weird to me. She eventually reveals, like, she's like, yeah, you know, I'm going to bring you to him. You know, Anakin's still alive. You know, Darth Vader, he's alive. And Obi Wan has a look on his face like he's, like, in shock. He's just like, oh, my God, fuck. You know, like, oh, my God. He's like, fuck. So that's how the episode ends. Oh, I'm sorry. The episode ends with Vader in, like, a tank, a water tank with a mask on. You hear the breathing. And that was actually Hayden Christensen. But I didn't understand how she would know who Vader was. Like, how did she know Anakin was Vader? That was unclear to me. Maybe they explored that. But how the hell would she know who he was? unless like Vader trains these Inquisitors and somehow she figured it out some way, or maybe you see a flashback scene to how she sees that he is. I don't know. So that was kind of strange. And her stabbing the other Inquisitor, to me, is almost like, yeah, Sith kind of fucking turn on each other anyway, so, you know, that's not a surprise. You know, they want to get somebody fresh, although she was kind of doing it for different reasons. Usually they turn on each other because they find a better fucking apprentice, and then that apprentice turns on them, blah, 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 it keeps going. So maybe she says, you know, she has the motivation she wants. Obi-Wan, she wants to bring him to him, or she keeps saying, like, I want my revenge. She said revenge or something, so either she's pissed that maybe she didn't get to explore her full capabilities because she was taken, because I'm thinking she was the youngling from episode 3 at the beginning, and maybe she's pissed now because everything died pretty much. Maybe it's Obi-Wan's fault. He was Anakin's master, you know, it's his fucking fault he turned, you know, I don't know. They'll obviously explore that, but really like both episodes. I give the second one like an 8.5. I liked it a little bit more. There's more action, so I like seeing Obi-Wan use the blaster. Like, that's the thing about Obi-Wan. He would be, him and Yoda are the smartest ones. The kind, I guess, Ahsoka too. Is that her name? I don't know much about her either. Like I said, I didn't watch the Clone Wars show either. The gist of my Star Wars knowledge is pretty much the 6 movies and like Force Awakens, because I still have not seen Rise of Skywalker, The Last Jedi, and the games too. Like some of the games as well, doing stuff. And I've seen like bits and pieces of the Clone Wars and stuff. And like I've seen Solo and Rogue One. A lot of it's the movie stuff, so I don't know some of the other shit. I know who the characters are, but I don't know a lot about them. So she might have been another one who kind of shut it down, right? Like, you know, Obi-Wan Yoda gonna shut that shit down. They know how to get it done, you know. They know what the greater good. They gotta fucking, and they. Oh, you know, the thing is too, I'll give them this. The reason the two of them would probably completely shut it down is because they knew Padme had kids. They knew Padme had Anakin's kids, so they're the ones who were like, okay, we know what's up now. We're gonna shut the fuck down. A lot of the other Jedi didn't have, I guess all the other Jedi didn't have a clue. So they might still act like their normal selves, trying to help people and shit. And because the guy says to him in the first episode, he's like, the fight's still on, you know, we can do something. He's like, shut the fuck up, you know, he's pretty much, shut the fuck up, dude. And oh yeah, Obi-Wan takes his lightsaber up out of the desert. It might have been the second episode he takes it up. I don't know how you remember where the fuck it was, because it was literally in the middle of the desert, and there's like, no, I didn't see any markers. I like them both. I just like the older school style of Star Wars. The Inquisitors have a cool ship too. Overall, I actually really like both of them. I'm excited for the rest. I think the new episode's on Wednesday, so that's exciting. I don't know. I really enjoyed that shit. I mean, like, there's a couple of things here and there that bothered me a tiny bit, but like I said, I'm the kind of person. Listen, I gave fucking Halo TV show a shit ton of chances. I never even got around to that rant because I was too fucking annoyed to make it. I might still at some point. I still like parts of Halo, but a lot of it was fucking ridiculous. But I push myself through it, and this Obi-Wan is doing a lot of things right. There's a little weird shit there, but for me, you know, I feel like most of it's right. And over the fucking 17 years he's on Tatooine, there's a good chance he left the planet at some point. You know, like, even if like he ends up leaving the planet for maybe a day, if that. But overall, I liked it. I like the set pieces. I just love seeing him back in the role as Obi-Wan and seeing the other characters as well. It's like I like seeing, you're seeing Leia stuff. You haven't even really seen Luke. You just see Luke briefly. I like seeing the Owen stuff and seeing him interact with Obi-Wan. Now he's kind of pissed at him still. He's like, listen, just fucking stop being a pain in the ass. Luke's gonna live here. He ain't gonna be a fucking Jedi type stuff. We obviously know what happens to Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru in episode 4. But it was cool seeing him use the blaster and stuff because he's so uncivilized. But now he has to be uncivilized all the time. I would assume he gets his actual house at some point. He's in a cave right now. I thought that stuff was cool and shit. There's a lot to like about it. I didn't mind the Inquisitors. I thought they all looked fine. They all came across as kind of sinister badasses, I guess, you know, and not people to be fucked with. But like I said, I enjoyed most of it. Honestly, I thought it was really good. I'd go 8 on the first episode, 8.5 on the second. I thought they were good. I'm excited for fucking more, I'll tell you that much. And I like how he barely used his powers. He only did it out of desperation. He still sucked because he hasn't used them so long. I like that. Like, I would assume people aren't expecting him to just bust the fucking lightsaber out and be like, oh, here we go, baby. Fucking doing shit. No. He's not in tune with the Force anymore, you know? He's got to get back in tune with that shit. So I like that, too. I like seeing his struggle, kind of, you know? His internal struggle. He has a nightmare, too, at one point in the first episode where he like, sees that, he's remembering Anakin and all this shit and stuff, and he wakes up. There's a lot of good stuff in this show, for sure. I really liked it. But, yeah. It's just a review and recap of the first 2 episodes of the Obi Wan Kenobi show. Thanks for checking this out, and have a good day.